Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. This is a shot of whiskey, and the school year is coming up for a lot of our children. And depending on where you live, it may have already happened. Here, where we live, my son is going to be starting the school year on September 1st. And because we live in Washington, a blue state, which is run by a bunch of paranoid control freaks, it's still at home studying stuff. So, which I wouldn't entirely oppose, but I tell you what, I'm not going to get a lot of sleep from this. Me walking home at night. I mean, I'm not even going to be getting home until about 3:30, 4 o'clock normally by the time my son's school year begins. I'm going to want some sleep. I should be allowed to have some sleep. So every now and then I'll be helping him out with his schooling. Every now and then it'll be my mom helping out. It just kind of depends on the day. So, but we actually found out he's going to have a male teacher. That's pretty cool. There's like 33 teachers at his school or some crap like that, and only 3 or 4 are guys, and my son's getting one of them for his teacher, so that's pretty cool. He's getting more male influence from different sources, and I quite like that. Wow, it is really dark here. Yeah, that doesn't really help out a lot. But, yeah, ready for the school year. So, the meat of this video has nothing to do with school. I just kind of wanted to share that. We actually went to the school today, which is nice. I mean, school levies, how sometimes they will include building a whole brand new school to replace an old one. Well, that's what happened with my son's school. This is supposed to be the opening year for the new building. And it looks pretty good. They're not quite done. Still a little bit of work to do. But it is looking pretty nice. I'm quite pleased with it. But so anyways, most of what I wanted to talk about is, how do I want to put this? There are certain fictional entertainment franchises that, there's a lot of people who love them. But unfortunately, among those includes the rabid psychopaths who act like they're possessed by demons when they find out that somebody doesn't like said fandom. Let's go with a perfect example. Star Wars. It's one of the most popular sci-fi franchises of all time, if you want to call it sci-fi. I don't like Star Wars. Never really have. I didn't even care for the original trilogy, to be honest. I'm fine with people liking it, to each their own. I just don't care for it. I'm definitely more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars person, whatever. I don't even know if Star Wars fans have their own special term, like Star Trek fans are called Trekkies. But, if somebody spazzes out, oh my God, how could you know Star Wars? It's fantastic, everybody loves Star Wars. No, not everybody loves Star Wars. Not everybody loves Star Wars. And I know I'm not the only one. I've met a couple of other people who don't like Star Wars. And there's also the people who just don't like sci-fi in general. So, what about them? But what's bringing this on is the past couple of days, I've been getting into some Twitter arguments over mostly focusing on one anime in particular called Attack on Titan. Now, if you don't know what that is, extremely simple explanation. It's in a world where you got people living in a city that's encircled by a city that's encircled by a city, and all of a sudden they get attacked by these giant-ass human-looking things that eat them. Now, there's more to the plot that's involved. I'm aware of it to an extent. I did not care for the series. Almost every single character I found to have been boring. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch 2+ seasons for character development for a character that starts off where I don't give a crap about him. I don't care if he's a wuss who works to become strong. I don't have any objection to those kind of storylines. In fact, most series and movies have that as part of the plot. It's normal. At one point, I had said that as far as anime goes, it's practically a trope in and of itself. I just got done watching an anime called Wanna Be the Strongest. It's all about a pop singer who decides to become a professional wrestler. And this is in a world where professional wrestling is real. It's basically MMA with wrestling rules. And you know, it's funny at times. It's kind of interesting at times when you think of things as a wrestler. And it's also an ecchi, which, you know, means there are moments where it's kind of inappropriate. You know, close up of boobs, butts. Sometimes you see said boobs. You know, it's a fan service anime. Not as much as I was expecting, though, which I actually kind of appreciate. I might love my titties, but sometimes I think a little too much can be a bad thing. But point being, the main character goes through the exact same basic concept. She was a shitty excuse for a wrestler. Why the hell was she in the ring? And then all of a sudden, she's showing potential to possibly compete on a world-level stage. You know, and if they had continued on, you know, another season, maybe we would have seen that, but the way that they ended it kind of made sense. But point being, her progress in and of itself is not what made her a great character. There were other aspects as well. And the thing is, with the main character of Attack on Titan, I felt like he was lacking. I had no reason to care if he lived or died. There was one moment where it looked like, hey, maybe he did die. I was like, meh, whatever. I was honestly more intrigued by the fact that the one that ate him, which basically just bit him whole and swallowed him, kind of looked like a naked Santa Claus. You know, it's the monstrous titans. You can't take them seriously. I mean, they look goofy. And the funny thing is that some of the people who were attacking me for this were saying that you're not supposed to take them seriously. One of them does like a JoJo pose, which I know what anime they're referring to, but I actually haven't seen it, so I don't know exactly if they mean like a specific pose, because as I understood, it's a wacky anime, which means it probably had a lot of poses to go with. But at the same time, it's like every other aspect of the show looks like it's supposed to be serious. Like we're supposed to be taking these things as a serious threat. So shouldn't I be expecting these things to actually be scary or intimidating or at the very least serious looking? I mean, they look like an acid trip inspired Disney special that was rejected because it was so terrible. Personal opinion. So, but yeah, God forbid somebody who claims to be an anime fan has an opinion that the masses don't like. You know, it's kind of like that with a lot of other shows for me personally. I hate Pokemon. Never really got into Dragon Ball Z. I only just recently finished watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's okay. I don't think it's the greatest anime of all time like its fans make it out to be. But it's alright. Death Note, that's another one that was hugely popular. I just thought it was meh. You know, just because an anime is popular doesn't mean that every single anime fan has to be head over heels in love with it. It doesn't work that way. But, you know, as I was trying to explain to these people, it's just my opinion. Why the fuck do you care what my opinion is? And the only reason that I shared my opinion was somebody else who I follow had asked a question. It was almost exactly worded like this. Why is Attack on Titan overrated, and why is it bad? So I gave what my honest opinion was, and I tried keeping it brief, you know. I didn't want to write an essay on this, especially because this is Twitter. You can't exactly go into extreme detail on stuff. So, but it's actually kind of what I thought was kind of funny with some of the people who were responding. It's like, well, why are you voicing your opinion? If you don't like it, just shut up and leave. I'm like, I voiced this opinion because somebody asked the question. I'm sorry you lack the mental discipline to understand what that means. So people were like, please shut up. I'm like, no. I have no problem being a dick with certain things like that. I will talk if I damn well please. But, yeah, you know, it's like this with anime, it's like this with sports, it's like this with sci-fi, it's like this with anything. I mean, Game of Thrones, oh my god, that show had such a fucking popular fan base. And before season, what was it, 8? I think whatever the last one was, before that one came out, so many Game of Thrones fans thought it was the greatest thing to ever hit television. I saw one episode and thought it was the worst porno attempt I'd ever seen. And I just couldn't watch it anymore. But apparently that made me a bad person. Some people actually called me a Nazi because I didn't like Game of Thrones. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Are you people really that high? But no, that's just kind of what I want to say. People are absolutely pathetic over their fictional entertainment. That's all it's supposed to be, is entertainment. To respond unofficially to one final point that somebody else had brought up, which is, if you don't like it, make one of your own. That's such an imbecilic response to something like this. It's like, yeah, I don't like Attack on Titan. That doesn't mean that I have to make my own goddamn anime as a response to it. I could just watch something else. There's thousands of titles, thousands of options. It's not Attack on Titan or piss off. There's other things to choose from. What kind of a fucking moron doesn't get that concept? And maybe I can just watch something else. Anime is not the only thing to watch either. But whatever. Anyways, I'm at a point where I feel like I'm just kind of rambling like an idiot. So, peace out everyone, and watch what you like. Who cares?